As we turn the page on Brika, who is faced with the fists of fate, we see a small halfling druid who is trying her best to save everything she loves. This week on We Together, Leah and the Message from the Deep. With that being said, Danny Dearest, are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
So we're going to start the session kind of building the world around you, so to speak. The first thing that Leah would notice is the noise. This is her first time ever being below the second level of Iris Luna. That is not a dark, deep cave in the levels 5 or 6. So this is your first time in a city environment. On level 2, there's wide open fields, there's wide open plains, there's a forest. The houses are farther away from each other. It's a lot more rural of an area. And in level 5 and level 6, it's dark tunnels. It's like gray, bleak, stone, very, very minimalist. So the thing that is overwhelming you the most currently is the wailing of sirens and the cacophony of sounds that are assaulting you of this giant city known as the Block, level 3 of Iris Luna. And you don't expect to be so bothered by this, but the thing that really is getting to you is the fact that it is always overcast. Growing up for you, the sun, though artificial in Iris Luna, as the moon itself is tidally locked, so it would then have very strange day and night cycles. So Iris Luna, under the umbrella, has created a simulated environment where the weather, the sun, the stars even, all simulated on level 2 and level 1. Level 3, you can't see the sun because there's a thick, overcast, cloudy environment, and it never changes. As you look up, the only lights you see are the slowly blinking lights of the level above you, looking almost like stars dying as you look upon them.
Bleh. So it's loud, it's gray. Everything about it is an overstimulation.
Especially once you look around your eye level. Being a short for even a halfling, 2'7", the world around you seems giant as you see throngs of people of all different races, all different socioeconomical backgrounds, thronging or interweaving in between each other, creating this just orchestra of chaos as the bright neon lights of the signs all around you, of the shops all around you, are just overloading your senses as you're trying to take this all in and discern where you need to go. But here's the thing, Leah. You do not know where you need to go, as you are simply going away. You learn some things in your time in the deep, and you need to warn somebody. However, you understand, being the child of Magnus Thorn, the governor of level 2, these things take nuance and they take time. As you're gathering your bearings, you realize the first thing that makes you stick out. Everyone around you seems to kind of be casting you strange looks. And for a while, you don't really understand why until you look down. Your clothes are impossibly dirty, impossibly ragged, and they are holes upon holes. You are barely wearing a passable clothing. as this has been the first time you've been above ground in how long?
So long. In fact, it looks like I've been standing up to my neck in a pile of dirt. It's in my hair, it's in my nails. It's completely caked and like shaking off of me as I make movements. And even though like there's these waves of people passing through and I've pushed myself to be up against a building so that I'm out of the majority of the flow of traffic, it's still just like such a pressing force.
As you kind of realign yourself with the reality of your situation, you realize that you're not going to be able to get anywhere or do anything until you get out of these clothes. As you look around, you notice there's a large, bright neon sign and what appears to be mannequins posing clothing in the front window. And the sign reads "Quick Cuts," and it claims tailored outfits in under an hour on its sign.
Perfect. That was so convenient. And I feel like a sense of maybe just like a little bit stabilization starts to come over. And it just came from having to take that moment, moving to the side and closing my eyes because when I can block out what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, I can really focus on the things that center me, is what I'm smelling. And whenever I can remind myself that there's good food around and potentially good people, good plants to talk to, I can reevaluate what I'm here for. And my own personal passion to do what I need to do takes over. So I will do what I need to do. And that, for right now, means not getting stopped every 3 seconds and getting judged every 4. So I go into the quick cuts.
As the bell boo-doo rings, you walk in through the door. You see a Kalishtar man, and Kalishtar is a race that looks extremely close to humans, except for their trademark dark tan skin, black hair, and pink eyes. As you walk in, he appears to be reading something on his feed. Now, with your neural implant, basically every single thing that you do that you could do on a phone in modern times is done through your neural implant. So you pull up, you can see your HUD, or what is known as a gate, your connection to the feed. As you pull it up, you can see how much money you have. You can see your location. There's maps. You can see all kinds of things through your HUD. So this man, in this particular moment, appears to be doom scrolling as he swipes his finger through the air, and you see the tiny yellow golden light reflect behind his eye that gives away the fact that he is obviously scrolling through this invisible to you feed. Welcome to Quick Cuts. We can cut you real quick. What do you want? He doesn't even look.
So he did not happen to see the footsteps of dust and dirt that are been tracked in. And she's kind of like waiting in line, even though he's like talking to her, like she's kind of like waiting. She's kind of come from a place of society where you don't just like bust open and start like demanding things. You're kind of just like, okay, and then if they tell me to like stand here, I'll stand here. If he tells me to step up, I'll step up. If he asks me for a total, I'll pull out my wallet. You know? So he gives his spiel, and she kind of just like absentmindedly pulls out a snack, start crunching on it. Her go-to whenever she gets nervous or uncomfortable is Eatos, like cheese covered, circular, crunchy corn snack. And
Eatos.
to kind of add to the layer of dust, now there's just like a little bit of orange that's falling from her fingertips as she puts the snack into her cheek and starts breaking it down.
So are you using call food to make this, or do you have these on you, like as a physical object?
I'm using call food.
So why don't we then describe for the listeners at home who wouldn't know kind of how this is, why don't we describe what it looks like when you summon food using power of magic? Remember, this can look like anything you really want, as long as it's not like changing the mechanics of the spell. It can be a bright light that turns into food. It can be just a pop, and then all of a sudden food's in your hand. It can be whatever you want.
So basically, I close my eyes and I start to imagine the details, the things I love most about an Edo, the crunchy texture, the cheesy dust, the smell, the taste. And as I focus in on the details and the size, I start to focus on the palm of my hand. And it almost becomes like the things that I'm imagining materialize. And when I open my eyes, I've got like a little handful of them.
As you start crunching, waiting patiently for this man to notice, you walk up to the front counter, which is some feet above your own head.
Oh, for sure. The top of the counter, bro, I would have to like put both of my hands above my head outstretched to put coins on.
Well, there are no coins. In this world, all of currency is digital, known as units. Units, micro units, and macro units. A micro unit is about the equivalent to $1. And as you look on your HUD, you see that you have 50 micro units in your bank account right now. So you have about $50. As you're crunching away, the Kalishtar man sighs very loudly and exasperatedly. He closes his feed. I said, what can I... He looks around. He notices the dirty footprints leading up to the counter as he slowly leans over the counter, looking down at Leah eating cheese and just dust everywhere. Okay.
Her big eyes are just looking at him expectantly as she's chewing.
Right. So you're making a mess. Can you stop that, please?
So upon hearing this, she opens her eyes wider. She like looks almost a little bit scared, you know? Like she wasn't intending to be rude, and like or be called out by someone who's running a shop. So she just like quickly stuffs the rest of them into her mouth and just like brushes her hands off as she's like, absolutely sorry. No problem.
Okay. You're obviously a halfling, but I feel like I need to ask, are you an adult?
She's gonna go ahead and pull out like her ID card.
Now remember, everything is done through augmented reality. So if you want to send information to someone, you swipe towards them. And your neural implant will send them the information that you want.
So she kind of just like nervously looks up at him and she's like, and she swipes her like her date of birth info.
As he like looks it over, he's just like, oh, honey, all the way from the first level. You are just a fish out of water, aren't you? He immediately becomes much more accommodating. So he like comes out from behind the counter. Obviously, we don't always get such esteemed guests in our fine establishment. Is there anything that I can help you look for? Would you like to see the latest from the fall collection? Or perhaps some new things that haven't even come out yet? Very expensive, but I'm sure you can afford it.
And then she's gonna go like, yeah, let's have some fun with it. Let's start with whatever piece you're most excited about, hun. That'll be fun.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to put it on you while looking like that. So first, with your permission, I would love to cast the spell Wash. But I need your consent, darling. This isn't one of those brutish establishments from the level 4.
Yeah. I don't. Sure. I appreciate the ask. You know, it's very kind and considerate, and I totally understand. Whatever you need to do, feel free.
As you kind of are like stumbling through this, he just kind of raises an eyebrow and just like shakes his head. For being from level 1, you have the social acumen of a child. No offense, of course. And he snaps his fingers, and you feel a magical, like almost like, you know, those like Dyson or like a hair blower where it's like you put it on your face, a hair dryer, and it's like it's
like an
air.
Incredibly high level directed wind.
Yeah, and it just like from head to feet just completely covers you. And as you look down at your hands, all of the Edo dust is gone. Your clothes, even though they are still pretty ragged and with holes and stuff, they seem to be perfectly clean. As you are now, even your hair is now a brighter color as the dirt kind of has been removed from it. And he just kind of brushes his hands off. Now, let's get to business. Cueing a montage of this man bringing out several options of clothing, each more expensive than the last.
Some are like really long train gowns, and like the sleeves are unbelievable. Someone's like she completely disappears in them until they fit to size.
Yeah, and as he's going through this, he just keeps being, so let me know which one you like. So that you go through almost 15 to 20 different outfits, each getting, like I said, more expensive. And the outfit that you are kind of landing on at the end of this montage, as you get down to the last outfit, and he kind of is just very done with this whole thing. You're wearing a rather neat looking, very, very just simple kind of brown and green tunic with a belt. It's very kind of unisex, androgynous. Doesn't really look like a girl's outfit or a boy's outfit until you get to a big, like silvery bow that almost covers your entire chest because it's so big. As he just, okay, so do you want me to ring you up? How's this?
And she's looking at the big bow in the mirror. She just really can't see herself doing what she needs to do in this outfit. She's just like, I don't know. It seems a bit more than it's a little flashy for what I'm looking for. I just need something that's tasteful.
The man is just like very tired with this, and he just goes, you know what? Fine. How about we do this? You tell me your budget, and I will just bring you a rack, and you can pick.
So at this point, it's like that moment when you think that your friend is like talking to you and helping you pick out an outfit, and then you like she realizes that he's basically here to work, and so now she's kind of just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, well, I'm working with maybe like anywhere from 10 to 20 micro units would be perfect.
His jaw just slowly opens in a complete look of absolute surprise and frustration. You made me go through all of that for 20 mics? Honey, the outfit you're wearing right now is at least 200. If you only have 20 mics, he like obviously is very upset at the situation, thinking he was going to get great commission, but now he's dealing with another brokey, in his opinion. He walks over to the clearance rack and just like fucking opens it, and it's just like a bunch of fucking, you know, jumpsuits. There's like a romper, like just all different kinds of just like very basic clothing. Anything on this rack will probably run you about 20 micro units. Come and find me at the desk when you're done. And he goes back behind the counter and resumes doom scrolling on his feed.
Okay. Thanks for your help. Sorry that I wasted your time. I thought that was part of it and was fun for you as well. So don't worry about it. I'll just be over here. I'll come find you when I'm done.
Fucking crownies. He like mutters to himself as he just continues ignoring you.
So as I'm flipping through, I'm just like trying to find anything that's not going to be too big. And I think that I'm starting to kind of find something that it's like a jacket essentially that has caught my eye. And the thing I like about it is the fact that it has pockets and the fact that it seems like it'll fit and it seems like it'll be comfortable throughout the different elements. So I'm really drawn to this kind of like simple green jacket.
Just a jacket?
As I like select that piece, there's like maybe like a shirt to go under it, which is just very simple, just like moisture wicking, and then like a pair of cargo pants that'll go with it, and like a very simple pair of boots that lace up.
As you write down, not even really write, you in your neural implant, you kind of swipe the tags of these and it like adds it to your cart. That's how you shop in this world. So you go up to the counter and you would swipe him your cart with your completed items. So you get to tell us how you do that.
What's the total looking like?
As you're looking at your cart, everything that you picked out was relatively cheap. It's on clearance, 20% off. So your total comes to about 25 micro units.
Okay. So I swipe the cart over to him. I just kind of like I boop it over with a little like star sticker that makes a noise when it rings over there. So it's like dee-dee-dee-dee.
Oh, that's cute. All right. Let's see here. Yes. Okay. He swipes and it accepts the transaction. Then he comes out from behind the counter and he snaps his fingers and you feel all of the clothes on you start to like shrink to your form so that they fit perfectly. It is the best fit like for the clothes. The pants aren't too baggy, but they're not too tight. The boots are the perfect size.
Oh heck yeah! The shirt almost is like a turtleneck, so it keeps the stiff collar from brushing against. Everything just feels really like comfortable and tailored.
The man obviously just very done with his hole. It's like, there you go. Thank you for coming to Quick Cuts, where we hope your cut was quick.
As her like face turns red, she goes, I really appreciate you taking the time, and I do apologize for wasting yours. And I just appreciate the service. And she swipes him like an additional 5.
Oh, a tip. Nice. Well, I'll give you a tip then. This floor is gonna eat you up and spit you out. Go back where you came from. Have a nice day. And he goes back to doom scrolling. Sorry, what'd you say?
Great. Thanks for the tip. Okay. All right.
As you exit Quick Cuts back into the cacophony of sounds and smells, you kind of look around. At this point, you have a sense of aimlessness because you know you need to get up to the higher floors because the whole thing is to report what you found to the union and the people you used to work for. But there's that weird feeling of fear because you know that no one will listen to you. They weren't before you left, when you left college to go to the deep to try and discover the secrets of these things, that nobody was believing you then. So now you have this like feeling of desperation, like thinking no one's really going to, where do you go from here?
Not to mention the outfit. Yes, it's doing the trick, but the clearance rack will get you nowhere.
As you are kind of pondering this problem, a picture pops up in your view. A girl with like medium length, shoulder length hair, dark brown chestnut hair, and very familiar green eyes. As underneath it says, Lily Thorne is calling you. And as it pops up that she's calling you, you can see every time that she's called you, like a call log underneath. And even though you haven't been getting them due to your state of where you were, she has called you twice a day, every day for the last year.
It hits hard. It's like that feeling when you go out for a fun night and everything's great and you're like, and I didn't even get any calls. And then you realize you have like 45 from your
Missed
mom.
calls.
And you're just like, oh no. So she sees that and she's like, oh fuck. So she's going to answer it and she's going to have all that energy underneath it of like, who's dead? What's going on?
Magnolia? Is that you?
It's me. Is this Lily? Hi.
She immediately, like, her face, like, contorts as she... I thought you were dead.
It's literally been so long. I don't even know where to begin. I'm okay. I'm alive. I'm not dead. It's so good to see you.
Where have you been?
I've been in some deep shit.
Her eyes immediately kind of like harden as you recognize your older sister is very by the books. She's always been kind of a strict personality. And the second you say that you're in deep shit, she kind of snaps into older sister mode. Okay. Where are you? You can send her a nav point. You can swipe and send her a nav point to where you are.
I sent you a nav point, but I don't know if you should come here. I don't know. I feel like I have to do something, and I'm glad that you're okay. And I just wanted to make sure.
Magnolia, calm down. Take a breath. Remember, you have to breathe. Just breathe. Okay.
Yeah.
You're on the 3rd level? Jeez. Okay, I actually am on the 3rd level in the tourist district. Let me see. There's a restaurant about 15 minutes away from you. I'm sending you a nav point. Meet me there, okay?
Okay. Just allow for a couple minutes because my directional sense is you know.
What's wrong with your neural implant? It should show you where you're going.
Yeah, I get distracted.
Okay. Magnolia, just calm down and everything is going to be okay. Just meet me at the nav point, okay?
Hey.
She hangs up. Because remember, your neural implant, it's almost like an augmented reality. So like you can see real life, but then also like almost like a HUD, almost like a like interface that you interact with. When you click on a nav point and enter it into your neural implant, on the ground in front of you, you can see arrows pointing in the directions you need to go to get to the navigational point that you had assigned. So it's like almost like in real life, you can see arrows pointing to where you need to go. As you make
good. As
you make your way through the throngs of people and kind of just like now less people are giving you those looks because you look like you fit in a lot more. As you make your way to the nav point, it brings you to a large, almost like industrially clean restaurant with a big sign that has a chicken head sitting outside of a trash can. And the sign says trash chicken. And it's like basically a KFC or any kind of real world equivalent to a chicken joint, fast food. As you look inside, your heart beating really hard, you can see your sister, Lily, sitting at one of the desks. She looks like she hasn't aged a day, as her haircut is even the same, as she's nervously putting her hair behind her ear over and over. It's like a tic that she has where she just keeps adjusting her hair behind her ear without really even noticing that she's doing it.
And I formulate another handful of Itos as I'm watching her, just like kind of nervously centering myself, but also like filling up on free food so as to not press any budget or create any sort of having to be paid for.
So you take the Itos that you've conjured and stuff them into one of the large pockets of the jacket. As you open the door to the trash chicken, as you walk in, all of the employees behind the counter unanimously and in equal amounts of uninterest go, "Welcome to the trash. How can we serve you, trash chick?" Oh, wait, hold on. Let me do that again. "Welcome to the trash. How can we serve you with trash?" And they're all just kind of like very like dead-eyed. And you're recognizing that this place, like its theme is dumpster chicken. Like it's all of the menu items are trash themed. You have the classic trash chicken bucket, which is just like the regular. Then you have dumpster fire chicken, which is like their spicy sauce. There's like just a variation of these different types of chicken. And if you are listening and you are interested in any like extra content at home, we did make a full trash chicken menu for you to enjoy over on our Discord. So We Together Gaming and Discord. Head over if you want to see what trash chicken has to offer. But back to the story.
Wow. Pleased to meet your royaltiness. Royal trashness.
They all are literally just looking at you like with their eyes rolled, just like, oh my God, another one. As you walk in, as you say that, your sister kind of like whips her head around, recognizing your voice. Just, "Magnolia, over here." As you approach the table, you can see that she's like so like shook. She's a lunar elf, or I'm sorry, not lunar halfling, and she has like the pale skin. You guys kind of share a complexion, but other than that, she's a lot more of a dark complexion. She has dark brown hair, freckles that kind of cover her face, and big glasses that almost fall off of her face. They're so big. And I think this would be a great time to give us a physical description of your character, Magnolia Thorn.
And upon seeing her sister, even though she knows like they don't hug, it's like not done in their family, she goes for an awkward little hug anyway. And at that point you can kind of see the resemblance, because she's got like a similar features in the sense that she also is a lunar halfling. So she's got like that fair porcelain like skin. She's got like less height for sure. Her older sister's got her a little bit, being the 2'7". But she's got like this light lavender hair, and it's in a short wavy bob, little bit of bangs. She's got these bright green eyes, and she's just like more petite and just like slightly more frail looking than her sister. But she still has like a rose to her cheeks as she blushes and like pulls back from the hug.
As you pull back and take your seat across from your sister in the little booth, you can tell that she, even though the hug was awkward and stiff, you can tell that she is holding back tears as she kind of just like takes a breath. Lily, always the calm, pragmatic one, she kind of puts her hand, folds her hands. She goes, "Okay, Magnolia, tell me, what's going on? Why were you gone for so long?"
Well, you could say I got stuck and it would 100% be the truth. But also, like, while I was stuck, I like couldn't help but learn some really new things, some really beautiful things about plants. And it's really important. And I need to do something with this information before I explode. And I just can't even believe how long it's been. I can't imagine what you've been going through. I'm sure things have been a disaster.
Yeah, they really have been, Magnolia.
What did
we
I
th-
miss?
Well, first, Mom and Dad, besides themselves, we are 2 weeks away from having a funeral for you. We thought you were dead.
You guys are planning a funeral for me?
You've been gone for a year, Magnolia. With no contact, none of us could reach you. The last thing we heard is that you dropped out of school.
And what did Mom and Dad think?
You know them. Always a PR statement. They're spinning it so that they can make it look good for them. Their poor, lost daughter, the grieving parents. It's a great narrative for voters. You know this.
I saw all your missed calls.
I was so worried about you, Magnolia. Why did you leave?
Because no matter what level you're living on, sis, everybody really does deserve a good life. And I'm kind of studying how to make that happen right now for as many people as I can.
That's why you went to the lower floors? You want to help people?
Truth is out there. It's certainly not on level 1.
Magnolia or Lily, just you see her kind of like get flustered and kind of when she gets angry, her nose does like this twitch where her glasses kind of move up and down on her face. That's Magnolia. You could do that from the research department. You could do that working with me. Why do you need to go down to level 5 to help people? You can help people right here with your family.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But it's also not true. And I think if I were to tell you more, I would just start rambling. And I don't know if I really would get to the point that you would need to really understand what's at stake here. But it's very serious. And I want to make sure you're safe. And I know what it's like being caught in the middle of information and Mom and Dad. So I'm just asking you to trust me that it's not what it seems.
Magnolia, you have to have more faith in me. I understand not trusting Mom and Dad. They only care about their ratings and their polls. I understand, but I'm your sister. We've always been together. We've always done everything together. Why can't we do this? And she pulls out a like a laminated like card pass, which again is it's not normal for them to have physical copies, but this must mean that it's safer to have it in a physical form than to have it on a neural implant. And it says Vice President of Directives for Life Source, the oxygen producing company on level 2. I can help you. I have power now. I have status. We can work together.
I think it would be very dangerous for you if we did that.
Magnolia, you have to trust me. Who else are you going to tell?
After I tell you, I don't know if I'm going to be telling anybody else. I need to tell the right people. But Lily, I think I'm onto something with the plant's reproductive capabilities.
Yes, the crop apocalypse, they're calling it. There's having a problem with the plants reproducing on Iris Luna. Yes, I'm in the work case study that's working on this. What did you find out?
I think we know why. They're not reproducing.
Magnolia, that's amazing. If we know why, then we can prevent it. How do you know this?
Doesn't matter. Lily, based on what I know, there's a lot of people who would like to keep it that way. For their own gain. And for the status quo to stay the same. And it's going to be really bad if this gets overturned. But it's going to be for the best of the people. So it's got to happen. And I don't want to implicate you very much.
Well, okay. I understand that, Magnolia, but where I work, this directly related to my research. No matter if you tell me now or you tell, air quotes, the right people, then it's going to get to my desk eventually anyway. So just tell me.
So I'm going to put Bud on the table.
Is that a succulent? How did you get a succulent on Iris Luna? She's immediately inspecting it.
Check them out.
This is. Are those spores? Is he reproducing?
Yeah.
Where did you get this?
Level 6.
Magnolia, you got this in the deep?
In the tunnels.
How is that possible? There's no artificial light down there.
There's like a whole world down there of artificial light, but it's organic light.
That's amazing. And this plant, it has reproductive capabilities?
It does.
I'm going to eat a piece of the leaf and we watch as it grows back in real time.
This is Magnolia, this is amazing. I have to call my boss. She will know what to do. She could help us. And she starts working on her HUD, and you see her kind of typing away. Magnolia, this is amazing. You
Hang up.
What?
Hang up.
She roll persuasion. Let's get a roll. This has been mostly a role played session 0. Sorry.
Oh, it's a dirty 20.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I rolled to see which dice was going to be for my friend today. It's a matte purple with black spots, and it started high and it stays high. But the one roll that happened, it mattered and it went through.
So you see Lily kind of hesitate for a second and then go, sorry, boss, butt dial, and hang up. That was bad. That was bad. I shouldn't have done that. Lily, why did you make me do that? What is going on? Why are you being so secretive?
I know that I'm always a nervous scatterbrain. And I know that it's always you're the one that's telling me to take a breath. But especially in this situation, it is imperative that we move intentionally in a direction with full understanding and confidence of our choices. If you go and you share this information with your boss, regardless of your level of trust with her, it automatically expands from there. and the implications for you and for myself are dire. I don't believe that sharing this with your boss is going to lead anywhere else than a quick grave for you, me, and this little bud right here.
Okay. None of this makes sense. I have to use the bathroom. And she stands up and she kind of looks back at you. What happened to you, Magnolia? You're so much more. You used to love working with me. She just kind of looks down at the ground as she just kind of gives like a solemn look.
Yeah, used to be fun. Because we were trying to make the world a better place, and we were learning cool stuff, and we were having, laughs and growth together. But the truth is that everyone thinks that I'm weird and I'm crazy and it's only gonna get worse, and they're gonna want my head, and they're gonna want your head too, and that's not as fun as it was. So it's changed because I care and I don't want anything bad to happen to you, and I'm afraid it's already too late, to the point that if you go to the bathroom now, I have to go with you to make sure you don't call your boss.
I'm not going to call my boss.
Correct, because I will be there making sure. It's unfortunately, I shouldn't have told you any of this.
Magnolia, I'm not going to the bathroom with you. You wait here. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm not going to call my boss. I already told you I wouldn't. We're sisters. Besides, whenever a high-ranking official from the union makes a call, their nav point is automatically uploaded to the system. So it wouldn't matter either way. And she turns. She's like, you have to trust our system, Magnolia. The union has only ever helped us. You wouldn't have gotten into Oakhart without the union, without Dad. Everything we have is because of them. Don't forget that. She turns and she walks down the hall to the bathroom.
Her Leah's heart sinks as she realizes this information has been a mistake, and as much as she loves her sister, she really can't include her any further in details. So as she goes to the bathroom, Leah is going to attempt to eavesdrop on her and go anyway, but without being seen. And if my general way of saying so doesn't really make it clear, I would like to get into my super sleuthy mode so that she won't even know I'm there, because I will be so tiny, roughly the size of a hamster.
Okay. Before you, as you're getting ready to do that, can I have a perception roll, please?
It's a 7.
As you're getting ready to go after your sister and you're solely focused on her, you barely notice, except for the light ringing of the door, as a tall union officer enters the building and starts looking around. What do? You gonna continue? This is just information that you have now.
Can I do a perception on him if it looks like he's getting food or if he's here for us?
Make it an insight, and I am down.
That's a 9.
He seems to be kind of relaxed, like he's here to eat overall. The only weird thing is that when he sees you, there's a pause for a second, a lingering. Nothing too out of the ordinary, though. And then he just continues looking around.
Paranoid's been activated.
And then he walks in and he's at the front desk, just kind of talking.
I can't lose this. I gotta focus on what I'm doing.
So she's going to kind of like run for the bathroom and be like,
Oh, shit.
hopefully that will be enough of a cover.
Roll deception.
Especially in trash chicken.
Roll deception. Yeah, trash chicken shits are the worst.
Can I get advantage on that because of the
Because trash chicken shits are the worst? Yeah, I'll give you advantage on that, bro.
Well, I rolled the same number twice.
Your friend is not friending.
It's a 12.
Oh, that's not bad. I rolled a 12.
Oop.
And as we all know, in the warp system in my games, the ties go
The player.
all right. So as you say that, like clutching your cheeks, kind of like scampering past, he just kind of like clocks it, but doesn't really, as he continues to order his chicken.
We've all been there.
Now you've made it past. So it's like one of those bathrooms where it's like a little hallway, and on either side is like a bathroom door. And you have the shape of both of the bathrooms are unisex. So like they have like the two people on the doors marking them as restrooms. You did not see which one that Lily had gone into.
But I do know her super well. So there's a lot of little things about her that I could be like look on the lookout for in the whole sense of things. So like I can be listening for her voice, I can be smelling for her, and I would like to wrap all of that up in like a nature thing.
The only way that I'll give you nature is if you're specifically smelling for her poop, because that's the only real way that nature is involved in that. Or sweat. I get sweat too.
Cool.
Otherwise, it's perception. Using any other sense to try and like locate her as perception roll. Now, here's the thing. This is totally based on if she's pooping or sweating. So like that's situational. So even though you would have a better chance rolling it, it makes it a harder roll to beat just because of the situational elements of it.
Well, I think also just the nature of our heightened conversation that she would be sweating. So I trust that, especially if she ran to the bathroom.
Okay.
It's a 19.
As you kind of like close your eyes and your nose starts doing a little twitch as you're smelling the air, you don't smell any fecal matter other than the remains of other visitors to this particular location.
Classic trash chicken.
And as far as sweat goes, nothing that you can really pick up that discerns her to you more than any other smell. However, there is like a salty, tangy smell in the air. Tears. And it's coming from the door on the right.
I want to cast Wild Shape Hamster so I can get closer without being seen.
So in a nice, concise, tight description, because we don't have a whole lot of time, describe for the listeners what that looks like and then what you look like in your hamster form.
So I take a deep breath and I shrink down so that my body becomes no bigger than the size of a hamster. And I start to take on those features almost immediately. The ears, the nose, until all that you see is a golden teddy hamster with long hair, almost a little disheveled, and light lavender tips at the edge of the hair.
So you are now no bigger than the size of like a can of soda.
Ham.
As now you're a hamster, the world around you has scaled impossibly large. Like the doors, everything is impossibly large. And the sounds also become a lot more sensitive because people walking feels like poof, poof, Like you could feel the vibration of people walking in the floor. But you have successfully wild shaped into a hamster. What do?
I would like to sneak into a better vantage point where I can see her, hear her.
Well, considering you wild shaped before you opened the door, the only feasible way that I can see for you to get into the bathroom would be to squeeze and flatten yourself like a little hamster pancake and go in the small 2-inch opening or 1.5 inch opening between the floor and the door.
The best move, because then no one will hear the door opening.
It's true. So as you squeak your little butt in there, can I have a let's do acrobatics.
It's a nat 20.
Oh shit. As someone who has spent what felt like a lifetime in the tunnels, squeezing through very tight spaces is something you've become quite adept at. As you flatten into a little tiny pancake hamster and just like a turtle almost, you scurry your legs so you're pushing yourself forward. As you make it underneath the door, your little butt like pops out the other end. You have now made it into the bathroom, and you can hear the sound of of Lily crying in one of the stalls. As the last thing you hear her say is, "Yes, sir." Okay. And hang up. And you hear the shh of the stall opening as the door opens. And you see her not notice you as she starts washing your hands.
I was afraid she was going to call some.
What do you do? As you're watching her, you start to hear the sound of many footsteps. The rumbling getting closer and closer. As she finishes washing her hands and she goes over to the dryer, which, you know, those like hand dryers that like you put your hands, it's like, and then like they're completely dry.
Yeah.
It's like that. As she turns to the door and she looks down and notices there's a hamster on the floor, but she is not aware of your affinity for that form, so she does not recognize that it is you, and she thinks that it is a rat, so she lets out a ear-piercing scream. Oh my god! As the door bursts open and 2 Union officers rush in to the bathroom, you in a daze as the footsteps around you just as they're stomping around you, they're just narrowly missing you. As you kind of like every step launches you a little bit into the like a very small bit into the air, almost like little hops.
And the door is open now. Like as they
Yes.
came in, I have an exit that I can beeline for, which I think is my main plan there.
Okay, so then roll me a stealth. I would imagine you're trying to do it quickly, or survival if you're just if it's just like your instincts.
Like I feel that the instincts kicked in, and at this point, it's just a matter of like a mad scramble to stay alive. Nat 20.
Oh shit, yeah. So as the officers look down and see this scurrying hamster, and you hear Lily being like pointing at it like, oh my god, they start like trying to stomp on you, but you're just like zigzagging around them to the point where they're both looking down at you and don't recognize, and as they clunk each other's heads together, and both of them as their nose, like you could see one of the nose of the guy start bleeding, as you can smell it more than see it because you're too small to really like see it. As you run out the door and like do a hard twist, as you make it to the front area, can I have a dexterity saving throw, please?
There's like a tiny trail of tiny tears. A 15.
15? Oh. It's not going to cut it. As you feel a large polyester, like synthetic material completely cover you. And then you feel yourself being lifted as you now reside in a bag of some kind. As you hear footsteps rumbling and the bathroom door open once more. As you hear a very cold, calculating woman's voice. Now you idiots don't realize what you almost did. She holds up the bag so you feel it like lift. This is the girl that we've been looking for. And you hear Lily just, what do you mean? How could you be looking for my sister and not tell me? Doctor, we've been working together for almost a year. And you hear the woman, we have. And we will continue to work together because your parents have quite a bit of influence. However, you do have a funeral to attend, so you should go and get ready. What do you mean? Didn't you hear? Your sister's body has been found. She didn't make it, unfortunately. So your parents are moving up the funeral to tomorrow. It's a shame, really. You hear the sound of hissing as one of the sinks starts. You can hear the water pouring into it. And Lily is just, I don't understand. You wouldn't, darling. Now, please, some privacy. Lily, you understand that it's not necessarily that doesn't care. It's that she's just confused. And when Lily gets confused, she checks out. So she's just with a blank stare that you've seen 100 times. You can see through the little bits of fabric. With a blank stare, she just kind of, yes, doctor. And she starts walking out. You can see her looking for you in the main lobby because she has not pieced it together yet that you are the hamster in the bag.
I want to just talk to Bud real quick.
Okay.
And cast Speak with Plants, and it doesn't look good, so it's maybe my one last chance to talk with him at all. So as I create this magic and let my senses and connect into this subtle vibration that he gives off of me, I can feel the whispering of his leaves, of his stems, and I can communicate with the energy that he's putting out and express myself through it.
Is it time for a nap? You hear through the vibrations kind of echoing into your body.
A nap sounds great right about now, Bud, but I'm afraid that it might be more permanent than not if, based on the situation that I got us in right now, we're kind of in a bag in a lady's hand, and I just don't know what you think about it.
You start to feel the bag start to become wet as water starts rushing in from all sides into the bag. As Bud just, well, nap forever doesn't seem bad, but how are we going to complete our mission if we are napping forever? The water's now almost filled half the bag.
Can't. And I should never have told her. How are we going to actually make this work, Bud?
Well, Gramps always says, when things feel bleak, look for the light. So it's now up to your neck. Where is the light?
Start frantically looking for it.
It's dark in this bag as the water just completely overtakes your head, and you are now completely submerged. There's no way out. And you start to panic as you feel your lungs, your tiny lungs, start to hurt extremely bad. And the last thing you hear before you take a little bit of damage, thus leaving your wild shape form, is Bud go, "Oh, this is not good. This is not good." As you burst through the bag, fully in your now halfling form, because if you take damage in your wild shape form, if you reduce to 0, you wild shift back and your health can't be more than 1 or 2 as a hamster. So you immediately revert back to your human form and take it deep breath as you are now like standing in this bathroom, but only for a second, as a hard hand just slams on the back of your neck, forcing your head back into the sink, into the water, where you're just flailing frantically as you're trying to move him off, but it's no use. There's 2 full-grown men standing on top of you, and you are a halfling. As you slowly start to, your lungs burning, start to realize this is it. All those moments in the tunnels that you survived, all those talks with Gramps, that mission that you set upon, all those people that you're trying to save, all of that is dying with you in a trash chicken bathroom. As the darkness starts to like hit the edge of your vision and you take in a deep breath of water, the pain stops as the darkness fully starts to encapsulate you until it's the only thing that is. And it feels like you're falling into the darkness, but not a scary fall. It's a soft, comforting darkness. The pain is gone. The sadness is gone. The worries are gone. It's just you in this never-ending darkness, cradling you into one last nap. And you do love naps. But then you see it. A tiny speck of white light in the distance. The light is getting larger and larger. You're getting completely washed in its serene looking light until it completely overtakes you. You are now standing in an instant in a never-ending white void. You look around, you look at your hands, you can feel yourself again. And every fiber of your being comes to life when you hear a voice from behind you. "Hello there. I've been waiting for you." As you turn, you see a tall, dark-haired elf man, black hair cascading down his shoulders, very handsome, wearing a white robe, sitting on nothing. There's no chair. He's just sitting, but it's supporting him. And he has a wine glass in his hand, and he's swirling around a red wine. And you see sitting next to him on an imaginary countertop in a little tiny acorn pottery plant is Bud. "We were just talking about you. Please, will you join us?" He snaps his fingers, and you are now standing right next to him. And you have a glass in your hand. "What's your drink of choice?"
I'll have what you're having.
"Excellent. He snaps his fingers, and your glass just like fills with the red liquid. Cheers. He clinks to you, and then he clinks to Bud in a little tiny pot, like those watering plant things that have like the handle and like the sprout on the end. A tiny one just materializes out of nowhere, and he just pours water onto the plant. And he takes a sip of the wine. Do you sip it?
I will. I'm just like,
This is very hospitable. I'm really glad to see you and Bud are getting along.
I get along with everyone. They're all my friends, and my friends are all here. Please, how's the wine? As you sip it, a warmth fills your body as the sweet, kind of fruity tones stick out to you. You're not really one for alcohol, but this has like some kind of very special parent. Like it almost is like it's perfect for you, and it hits right in the perfect place as you can kind of feel the nervousness washing away from you.
she takes it with both hands.
It's cozy.
That is exactly how I would have described it, Magnolia. Or should I call you Leah, as you prefer? I've been watching you.
Definitely what I prefer. Thank you.
No problem. It's all good. I've been watching you for quite some time.
I wish it was, but I'm really afraid that it's gonna be bad for a lot of people, and it's gonna be the exact opposite of all good.
He kind of like lets off a chuckle as he pulls out of his white robe a white handkerchief, and he hands it to you to wipe your tears.
Like sniffles, and she takes it.
Just really wish I could have done something.
You know, Leah, I have been through many of these in my life, in my time in this world, and I have never met someone who cares more about the people outside of this realm than the one person who is inside of it. You truly are something special.
I don't think I've met anybody like that else here. It's kind of worrying me because I don't know how we're going to get to a good place for everybody if nobody wants to make it good for everybody. So I have to do it. Because if one person does it, then it counts.
Yes, and it brings me great joy to inform you. You will get that chance. Your story is not over, Leah.
Phew, okay. For a second, I thought it was just going to be a big white nap. Then roll credits.
I don't blame you for believing that, but as an observer, I am merely to observe. And in this moment, what I observe is somebody this world needs. And for that, Leah, you have to wake up. As soon as he says wake up, you hear it echo in your head. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Darkness, but not the same as before. This darkness is real, and it hurts. You can feel your body again. You can feel coming to life again in this darkness.
It's like a complete contrast where it was very like ethereal and white before. Now it's like gritty and like painful and dark. And the remnants is just like the wet tears that I still feel on my face.
As you come to and imagine those things, because you don't really know where you are right now, so you wouldn't know how to describe yourself. As you start to feel all of these things, you hear beep, 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 and a woman's voice. Oh my God, we did it! We fucking did it! And that is where I will end. your session 0.
We together.
Hey, if you like what you heard, please head over to our link tree at linktr.ee/we2gaming. That's the number 2, we2gaming. If you head on over there, you can find all of the places that we are on the internet, as well as our burgeoning community over on Discord at We Together Gaming at Discord. You can also find us on Patreon for tons of exclusive content, behind the scenes, favorite moments, as well as We Squared, the companion podcast to this podcast, where we discuss all things We Together, Iris Luna, and this campaign. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.